This week on the ADG podcast, it's Christmas season, and we have a brand new Christmas season finale for you guys this week. Brand new top five sports. Jake has a Scrooge-like rant for all of us. All that and more on the ADG podcast.
Jacob's research is awful.
Picking dodgeball players, I'm picking the kids that can throw the ball. I just blew LeBron. I don't care what team.
Okay.
No, it's okay. They did a broadcast this morning and had like one viewer. Good job, guys. That was me again.
Sure.
Did we ever see a cover of Eddie Murphy's Party All the Time? But this is the Lions we're talking about. So anything's possible. Kicker, long snapper.
Nobody else matters, right, Darrin?
Not to me. Not to me. It's top five time.
Top five.
Today. Wow. Did you really say that Miss Congeniality is better than The Blind Side? I said she dressed like a hook. This is at a diner. You know, show some respect, show some class, and just don't be a bunch of dummies. See, I think there are other better gangster movies than Scarface. For God's sakes, look at your goddamn boots. For Christ's sakes, it's starting to grow roots.
All right, Darrin, welcome, buddy.
Ho, ho, ho.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Is that your seasonal gig right there?
That's my Santa-like quality. Ho, ho, ho. And no,
nice.
no, I'm not ringing a bell outside the mall or outside the LCBO. No,
Not
that's
yet.
Not yet. But it's our Christmas finale spectacular.
That's right. Episode 16, season finale of season 2.
16, yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, it was going to happen, so this is a perfect time to do a season finale, give us a month break before we continue on again.
Exactly.
So, and there's a lot of shit to throw into this show, so it should be amazing.
Yes. So, but first off, I think it'd be, so we just want to shout out Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate this time of year. Wish you all the best.
That's
so,
right.
Jake, let's get into it. Shall we do sports?
Let's do it.
All right. Well,
unlike the Lions, who don't do anything. So anyway,
unlike
our
Lions,
team sucks.
Yeah.
This is gonna be the last time we're gonna talk about these bastards. So let's make it special.
God, how sweet is it? You know, when we come back in the new year, we'll be talking about draft.
Yeah,
How
we can
sad.
start talking about draft now
We'll start
because that's how
talking
sad
about
it is.
draft.
3 games left.
And we'll talk about the NFL playoffs and real teams who have, you know, real coaches, you know, moving forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So obviously Lions are just in full tank mode. You know, I will be at the Lions game this Sunday against Tampa
Poor
Bay.
bastard.
So I know. Hey, free ticket. What can I say? Can't complain.
Okay. Yeah, I don't go for a free ticket either. I wouldn't.
The only thing that is being wasted is my time.
There you go.
That's it. So all that, yeah, Lions, if their second last home game taking on Tampa Bay. You know what, Jake? If there was a chance for them to win, it would be this week.
I don't know.
Because
it's
Tampa's very wishy-washy, you know?
Right, but they can score 45 points. Do you think on this defense they're going to score like 100? Actually, can you do me a favor? When you go into the Lions store, can you see if they have any more on-field Joik Bell jerseys? I want one.
Geez. You know what? Joik Bell might be actually working security that day.
Whatever. If they have his jersey, I want one.
Oh man, Joik Bell. They should have never got rid of him. Him and Zach Center. There's just so many. You know what? If there was so Jake, let me ask you this as a Lions fan.
Okay.
If you were the Lions and you wrote your letter to Santa, what would it be on it? Like, what would you ask Santa for if you were the Detroit Lions?
Let's see. A new owner.
Mm-hmm.
New general manager, new coach. And then the rest should fall into place after that.
So just change the whole foundation of the team.
Yes. Gotcha. Obviously, the foundation we have right now has fallen apart a very long time ago, and no one's been able to piece it back together.
There was a lot of reports coming out. Like I saw on Twitter, former Detroit Lion linebacker, one of the great defensive players to ever play for the Detroit Lions, Chris Spielman, who does call the games for Fox, and also he does some stuff for DetroitLions.com. He was telling that he actually tweeted out that first two like the first two seasons of a new coach, weren't that great, but then it jumps skyward, like high. Like perfect example he was talking about was the head coach in San Fran. I believe he went 6-10 one year, then he went 2-14 the second year, and now they're 11-2 or something like that. They're good. Obviously, it's a little bit different because San Fran, unlike us, didn't have a franchise quarterback, and number two, they were in total rebuild mode.
Right. And this team refuses to accept, that they actually need to do something drastic to make it better. And the formulas they're just using in the coaching styles just doesn't seem to work. And do I want to give this guy a year 3 to see what happens? Absolutely not.
Right.
Just because everything's been so stagnant, and the talent that you have just to begin with has been really good, and you haven't been able to mold it or get it to work. So if you can't get the guys to work for you and fit into your schemes, one, you're not going to have enough time to drastically in the next 5 years change all that. What have you been doing the last 3 years with draft picks? So obviously that's not working either. Somebody has to go.
Exactly. Because remember, you got rid of Jim Caldwell because 9-7 wasn't good enough for the Lions, according to Bob Quinn.
It's on the record. It wasn't good enough.
Oh, it wasn't good enough. So 6-10 and 3-9-1 is like,
it's going to be ridiculous.
How pathetic is this coaching staff where he's like he tries to spin everything that we're positive, we're going in the right direction, we're going in the right direction here, guys are
we have to coach better. We have to coach better.
Our guys are really putting in the time and effort, and really it's like, that's great, you put in the time and effort all you want, but in the end talent beats non-talent.
Yes,
and
of course.
I'm saying the Lions have a lot of talented pieces, but not a lot.
Right, and they don't have a talent. They don't have a talented staff to make all of that work together. And you can look at even. I know we blast our team. This is our favorite team, and we blast our team when we don't like what we're seeing because we're invested into it. And our guest last week is more invested than we are because he works for them. And Dan Miller, even himself, said something's not working. So everybody sees it except the people directly involved. So that's the bad part.
Well, it doesn't get easier for Lions after this week. They go on the road to Denver, which is always a tough place to play. And Denver has been playing a lot better football in the second half of the season. And then they come home to close out the season against the Green Bay Packers, which looks like is going to be a must-win game for Green Bay to either keep up with Minnesota or potentially win the division. And you always hate to see, your division rival like clinch the division on your home field. So, that should leave a very bad taste in anybody that has anything to do with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, well, Detroit Lions have left a bad taste in their fan base for the last 6 years. So who cares?
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Well, from pro football to college football, the table is set, Jake, for the top 4 going into the college football playoffs. LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. Oklahoma are the top 4 teams that will be competing on New Year's Day to find out who is going to go to the national championship game.
Yep.
Obviously, LSU looks like world beaters, but Ohio State, you can never count them out. They have so much talent on Ohio State. It's ridiculous. Obviously, Joe Burrow's obviously the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. And then there's Ohio State with Chase Young and Justin Fields. That lethal 1-2 combination on both sides of the ball.
Now, Darrin, I have a question for you. You mentioned Ohio State.
Yes.
Did you watch the last 2 games of Ohio State's season?
Dominating.
The Big Ten Championship?
Dominating.
You know who wasn't dominating in the last 2 games that mattered? Chase Young.
Yeah, he
did
pretty
nothing in
quiet.
the last 2 games. Quiet. Yes. But he started off the season great, but he's been really quiet.
Well, yesterday he won the Bronco Nagurski Award as the nation's top defender. So,
that's good.
I really don't want to say that's him. Obviously, he's not. Maybe he's not at 100%. Who knows? There could be hidden injuries, or maybe he's just saving his best games for when the lights are the brightest.
Well, and I hope so, because if the Lions tie this into the Lions, if the Lions lose out completely in the second or third spot,
but Jake, here's
they're not drafting a quarterback because it's the Lions. And if this guy is an option, and the Lions draft a wide receiver instead,
no, you shut your mouth.
It's gonna happen. This guy might be on the board when the Lions draft. He might be. We do need him, but
there's so many needs that the Lions need, especially on the defensive side of the ball: linebacker, cornerback, safety,
exactly, and that's
defensive end, there.
And next season, when this comes into play, we're gonna be breaking this down like we did this year to the detail. And this guy's gonna be in the mix because Chase Young, big kid, super athletic, kind of reminds me of Ziggy Ansah, except with a little bit more actual skill, more than raw talent. So it'll be interesting.
Because I think the best, to go back to the NFL and Lions, the best move I think that Bob Quinn has ever done was draft Kenny Golladay, by far. And the worst move that he's ever done was trade away Quandre Diggs.
Oh, geez. Did you see what happened this weekend?
He has been flourishing.
On our Twitter page, we posted all those videos out of Seattle. Holy shit.
Wow. Just flourishing in Seattle. You know what? Good for him. I hope he wins a Super Bowl. I hope he runs back a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl just to really stick it in the Lions' face.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, you know what? It's just, it could have been, he was bad influence on teammates. I don't know. Whatever happens in that locker room, obviously there's not a true leader in that locker room. I hate to say it.
No,
but
let's face it.
But especially if they're not listening to their head coach. I don't know. No. I don't know what's gonna happen. But anyways, back to college football. So those games are set. Fun thing for Michigan. Michigan does get a bowl game.
I love it. I predicted it. It's funny enough. I predicted it.
You did predict it. Bad news. They have to play Alabama.
Yep.
Now Alabama, obviously not having Tua. Their starting quarterback. Obviously, he had surgery on his ankle, and so he's pretty much his college career is done until the NFL draft comes around. So, but Alabama is so stacked, it's ridiculous. Their second and third string quarterbacks and other position would start at any other university in the country if they wanted to.
Well, yeah, so, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna either be a lazy Alabama team who's just not gonna give a shit because it's the first time in how long they didn't make the playoff.
Right.
So they just might go in and be like, hey, whatever, who gives a shit? And then Harbaugh wins, and look what I did, I beat Alabama.
Yeah.
And he survives. Or this Alabama team says, fuck you, we're gonna destroy this team and show them how we should be there, which I prefer actually.
Yes. Fun fact: last time Michigan played Alabama in a bowl game was 1999, and guess who the quarterback was there, Mr. Winarski?
Who was it, sir?
Your boy, Tom Brady.
I hate the Patriots.
Who had a career day throwing 4 touchdowns and beating Alabama. So it's always good to see, so they have a little history in between those two. So
I think they're 2-2 in face-to-face.
Yeah, so Michigan, Alabama, Citrus Bowl, that's on January 1st. And all together, this is like the bowl, bowl palooza starting. I believe the first bowl kicks off on December 20th, and it runs every single day until the national championship game on January 13th. A lot of good, a lot of weird named bowls, but there's always some good team. Michigan State gets a bowl game this year. They're taking on Wake Forest December 27th in the Pinstripe Bowl.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah,
I like Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest, and there's some other good games. The Holiday Bowl, I think, is a good one this year. USC taking on Iowa. The Cotton Bowl, Memphis taking on Penn State. Camping World Bowl, Notre Dame takes on Iowa State. Obviously the semifinals, you have Ohio State taking on Clemson and LSU taking on Oklahoma. That's on December 28th, actually. So before.
So what do you think? Who's going to win this thing?
Ooh, that I like LSU to beat Oklahoma, and jeez. Yeah. I like Clemson. I like Clemson beating Ohio State. Clemson hasn't lost in 2 years, Jake. And
I know.
And they're the defending national champions.
Who did Clemson play this year?
Okay, nobody. But
okay.
Still,
you haven't met a team this hungry.
I understand that,
Ohio
but that experience that Clemson have being there, and they know what it's like and know what it takes to get it done. I like Clemson. And I think that quarterback that they have, Lawrence for Clemson, is another. Wow, this quarterback class, if he does decide to go pro, is going to be stacked this year.
Okay, so Clemson, LSU.
Yeah, I like LSU. I think Joe Burrows is too good of a quarterback. He has too many weapons around him. I think Joe Burrows, future number 1 pick overall.
Nice.
Especially if you're the Cincinnati Bengals, yeah, you're gonna take it.
Of course.
I don't see anyone else,
that
dominating. No. So all the way up into the Rose Bowl used to be the big bowl of the day. It's gonna be Oregon taking on Wisconsin, so that'll be a good one. So a lot of good football. It's always an exciting time of year because really nothing's on besides holiday and Christmas movies and football. So
that's what I've been watching every weekend for the past however months, and exactly like you said, I got LSU winning, but the only pathway is I think Ohio State's going to stop Clemson in its tracks, and Ohio State's going to lose to LSU in the final. So that's just my thing. Yeah, whatever.
No, it's going to be it's 2 great games. Going to be
it'll be crazy good.
It'll be awesome. It's definitely must-see TV.
Yeah.
So from that to NBA, we don't really talk about the NBA, but we'll talk about a little bit right now. Is that it's a big night in Toronto when Kawhi Leonard makes his return to Toronto. They're going to give him a pregame ceremony, a ring ceremony, as he was the heart and soul of that championship team that won it all last year in 2019. So, Jake, are the fans going to be cheering or are they going to boo him?
They'll be cheering. They should be cheering. If I'm a Raptors fan, I'm cheering because nobody else came over and gave you a championship like this guy did. So,
right. Yeah.
You're gonna cheer him. You gotta be like, thank you for your time. Now let's go. You got your ring. Now we're gonna try to beat your ass on the court, which is gonna be kind of tough. But no, the Raptors are still a good team. They're still a decent team.
Very good. Yeah.
So they're not the Pistons. This team actually tries. And, has good leadership. So no, they'll still a good club. They'll still have they'll be in the playoffs this year.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, this guy in the 1 year that he was here did something that your franchise has never done in the history of a 25-year franchise. I believe It's been around that you have never done. The guy deserves his number retired. He needs a statue outside of the Scotiabank Center. Seriously.
No, that's true.
Why
it's
not?
True. Yeah.
Obviously Vince Carter, once he does finally retire, I don't know, the guy is playing. He's 42 years old and he's still playing in the NBA. Obviously Vince Carter's name and number goes up there without a
Oh no, for sure. He put the team on the map.
Yeah.
But Kawhi Leonard gave them what they needed. So
exactly.
No.
So no, it'll be fun. Obviously the Pistons are
Pistons.
The Pistons. You know, they're there. You know, they're making their way through, you know, injuries, and Blake Griffin pretty much have to carry this team, but they squeaked out a win against the Pelicans.
Yes, they
on
did.
Monday. You know, big kudos to Derrick Rose for that's, you know, for a guy
making a turnaround jump shot. Come on,
yeah,
he better, like he was open.
Yeah, good for him though. You know, at
That's
his
like
age.
Here's a highlight. Well, the game was awesome. We made a jump shot. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
so
you beat a team of up and comers. That's gonna be amazing. Which you will not beat next year.
No. Oh God, no. Once they get a Zion, when Zion makes his return, which I believe it's going to be in 2020 sometime, early 2020. Yeah. So that you'll see that team just transform big time. Exactly. So the Pistons right now they're 10-14. They're 9th in the Eastern Conference.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that team, it looks like it's going to be a squeak into the 8th spot if they continue to play the title.
Not.
I know, but what can you do right now, right?
I'm going to try to go see a game before season 3 starts here. Sure. I'm going to get out to go see hang out at the LCA, get some cheap seats, and make my way down because nobody else goes. So I'll just try to fill in a few rows myself.
Exactly. So that's great. There's this thing, the score that I get all my news and information from. They've been doing the defining moments of the decade, and they have they haven't released all the way number 1, but like they're at part 2 of a 5-part series, and they drop the from 20 to 1 will drop on December 30th. Well, I'll post a link to it, but right now they're at 161, and just some of the highlights from 100 to 61, different things from all different sports. Like everyone remembers May 13th, 2003. If you're a Leaf fan, you remember that. That's when the Leafs blew a 4-1 lead in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Boston Bruins, and when they're up 4-1 and they lost in overtime to Boston. From that to women's gold medal hockey game in Sochi, to Rogers' Hail Mary TD. Which one? Everyone's like, oh, the one in Detroit. It's like, yeah, he's out of a couple of them.
Wait, the problem is like which one in Detroit?
I know exactly.
Which one against Detroit?
Exactly, right. And like all the way from like Derek Jeter saying goodbye and at his final at bat at home against in Yankee Stadium. Back in September 25th, 2014. So it's an interesting list. See, it spans all different sports, from football to soccer, when Barcelona's unbelievable comeback back in March 8th of 2017, when they came all the way down from 6-1 against PSG to win, and to which story which when the Tigers were good, all the way, this ranked in at number 69 when Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown back on October 3rd, 2012. So there you go. So
that's
a lot of interesting
things. They were good.
Exactly. It's been a while. Speaking of baseball, Jake, I don't know if you've seen this. Yankees signed a pitcher yesterday, Garrett Cole. Last year, he played for Houston Astros, and he signed a 9-year, $324 million contract. Yep.
That's stupid.
Wow.
He's gonna be bad in 5.
But you know what? The Yankees
it's a pitcher.
Yeah, but the Yankees are, well, they got money up the wazoo.
I know.
So they can throw whatever they want at these guys. I like it. It's funny because the day before he signed, Steven Strasburg re-signed with the Washington Nationals for $270 some odd million, and then he comes in and just smashes that record. I believe it's the most that a pitcher has ever made.
That's crazy
for that length of contract. So Garrett Cole is reeling in the money. So
that's
good for him. Good for him. All right.
Hey, you were telling me something before the show
Yes.
started about the Windsor Express.
Yes, Windsor
Sudden,
Express. This is a news slash sports related article that they had a press conference today where they announced they're going to be planning a proposal in front of City Council that they want to turn the old Windsor Stadium, aka the barn, downtown on McDougal, into their home arena. And I think it's a fantastic idea. Just the size alone and it being in the downtown core will definitely generate a lot more interest. And I think where you can create um, a well a well represented fan base, for those who like basketball, and especially those like across the river who wants to come see this team. It'll be a lot easier commute over instead of driving out into bumfuck nowhere to the WFCU Center, which I'm sorry that building is designed for hockey, not basketball. I think
well,
like this with this, if they get approval and if they get the okay, I think it's a smart move for the Windsor Express.
well, question for you. My
Hmm.
my only problem is
Yeah.
parking,
Yes.
because
Obviously,
as we all know,
yeah.
there isn't any around there.
No. Well, there's that lot across the street. Um,
Mm,
yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all
There is.
Windsor paid lots. It's
Yeah,
expensive,
yeah.
and it's,
Well,
it's
that's obviously something that they're going to have to look at when it comes to parking there. But you know, there's a lot of people that live in apartments around that area where it's in walking distance to
oh,
them.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
But it's in the middle of Windsor now. If you try to get people from, the suburbs to come in,
yeah,
there's nowhere to park. Let's say they get 1,000 people coming. We're gonna
hmm,
park 500 cars
yeah,
in the area. Let's
yeah,
say 200. You can't even park 20.
yeah,
There's just not that. The casino's far and it's always full. All the other
hmm,
parking garages are not on the same side of downtown,
hmm,
so you're kind of limited. So maybe if they get some funding, they can work on the whole parking situation, because there's a lot of little restaurants and shops they can't
hmm,
expand to either side, but
hmm.
maybe on McDougal there, maybe they can
Right,
sneak in a parking garage or a parking lot extra or something. That's a
exactly.
cool idea though, cool idea, but it's
Yeah.
probably gonna require some money to like transition that into a nice
Hmm.
basketball court.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think that's going to be great for the city, and obviously it gives them something that will be theirs. They don't have to change, they don't have to share it with the Spitfires or whatever. That would be their own court where they could practice on and play their games on, and they can rebrand it however they want to rebrand it. And that would be, smart, when you have when you have teams like the London Lightning where they have a real stranglehold on that city. Yes, obviously everyone knows the London Knights run that city, but basketball is becoming uh, a top a top town a top team over there in London. So why can't we do the same here in Windsor?
Oh, it's a good idea. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And one more local slash sports news from Windsor. Big shout out to Holy Names football player Theo Johnson. He signed a letter of intent to continue his football career and his education career at Penn State University as a full ride scholarship over there to Penn State. He actually had scholarship offers from Georgia, Michigan, Iowa State, and Penn State. So I'm sorry, not Iowa State, Iowa, just Iowa.
Mm.
So so yeah, and I happened to be there when he made his announcement. It was great to see all the media and his family, up there to support him when making this big life decision. So that's
Mm-hmm.
that's fantastic to see. A fellow Windsorite playing in the Big Ten.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Nah,
Yeah.
I was hoping if you wanted to win a championship, would be closest to. Oh, not gonna go to Michigan, but I probably
No,
went Georgia. That's a football
that's what
program.
I thought. I had my money on Georgia too. I said,
Yeah.
I'm like, I think Georgia, if he wants to get away, that whole SEC conference, where football
Go
is
play
king down
play
there,
with the best. Yeah, play with the best.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he does, and it'll be a nice little fun little story to keep an eye on Penn State next football season.
There we go. Good stuff.
There you go. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right, and I think that's it for sports there, Jake.
Awesome. Sounds good. So let's get a little Christmassy then.
Yeah.
I know you have a Christmassy top 5 for us this week.
I have a great Christmassy top 5.
I'm excited.
That everyone I think will enjoy. When it
top
comes
5 liquors to drink
yes,
Christmas.
Yes, top 5 liquors to drink while you're watching your top 5 favorite Christmas movies.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh God.
All right,
get
so
some hate on this one.
Oh no, the Christmas movies have been oversaturated by the whole Hallmark, Christmas Christmas in Utah, Christmas in Delaware, Christmas
18 Christmases.
Yeah, 18 Christmases. An Italian Christmas, and all this kind of stuff. But me, this is my personal list of top 5 Christmas movies of all time.
Nice. So send him hate if you don't agree with his own list.
Yes.
ADGpodcast@gmail.com.
That's it. Attention, Darrin. Yes. But obviously, for me, it comes in at number 5. Is I think the original. I think it's better than any of the sequels. Is Home Alone. Home Alone comes in at number 5. Macaulay Culkin, and it was one of the biggest box office smash of the year. And of its day. So number 5, Home Alone.
Wow, nice. I was surprised it's that low on your list, but okay, keep going.
Really? Okay. Number 4, I gotta say, I think is very underrated, but I think a lot of people would respect this, is Scrooged. Number 4.
Okay, I see. Going back old school a little bit.
Yeah. I try to keep it a little bit, new and old, but yeah, number 4 is White Christmas. I'm sorry, is what did I say? Oh, is Scrooge. Thank you. Number 3 is A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story.
Yes.
Okay. That's
exactly.
Not bad.
The little boy Ralphie wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas.
Yep. Again, surprised is this low, but okay.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Number 2, I think you would respect me for this. For the number 2 runner-up is Elf.
Okay.
Elf, obviously a Will Ferrell staple. It's on all the time around the Christmas season. You can't turn the channel without running into Elf at any part.
And that's how I get sick of it by the end of the year. And I probably have it lower, but no, that's good. It's a very popular one.
Okay. And number 1 is my favorite one of all time. I quote this movie all year round. Not just at Christmas time, but National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Comes in at number 1.
I just watched that this weekend.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's my annual tradition. Watch it about 4 or 5 times. And it's in the background. If I'm not watching it, it's in the background.
Why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margo.
No,
Margo. We have a thing like when all the family gets together and we're having dinner and there has to be turkey when there is turkey. If not me, then one of my cousins will always pipe up and says, "Save the neck for me, Clark."
That's
and everyone, 9 out of 10 times it gets a laugh.
No, it's good. It's good. I like that. No, so I just had the kids watch it. I think for the second time ever, they enjoyed it. Yeah, that's a good top 5 list.
Yeah. So
some honorable mentions. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes, some honorable mentions of like nowadays Christmas movies that you see on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. I recently watched on Disney Plus Noel with Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick.
Oh, that looks like trash, but that's cool.
It's she turns out to be Santa. She wanted to be Santa, and she.
Oh, good. I wasn't gonna watch it anyway. I think you were spoiling it.
Oh, sorry. I know Jake is a big Anna Kendrick fan.
Hey, that Pitch Perfect movies were great.
I really watch it because I had Bill Hader, and I love Bill Hader and everything he's in. Yeah, sure. And then another one is on Netflix. It's called The Christmas Chronicles.
No,
have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
I did not.
It has Jesus, what's his name? Oh, goodness.
Jesus is usually included in these movies.
Yeah, he is. He plays Santa, but he plays a slimmer, slender Santa. He's married to Goldie Hawn. What's his?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Kurt Russell plays Santa in this one. It's a nice feel-good holiday story. So, yeah, those are my honorable mentions. I know.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes. Yeah. So just one question I have to ask you, Jake. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yes.
See how quickly I answered that? Yes. The first one and the second one. No, there's no debate. There's no debate. No. Watch the movie. You'll see it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's very Christmassy. The second one's my favorite, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering. Die Hard 2. It's my favorite. Yeah. Wow. It's a staple.
It's a staple. So there you go.
That's what it is.
All right.
It's watched every year a few times.
There you go. So there you go. So a little of nuggets of holiday cheer and joy for you to check out this year. Obviously, another honorable mention is the Charlie Brown Christmas. It's a holiday staple. It's always on TV every year, so it's always a nice little cartoon reminder of what Christmas is all about.
Oh, jeez. Nice. I have a hidden gem out of the Christmas movies that I always watch.
Which
it's
one?
Fred Claus.
Oh yes.
It's one of my hidden gem favorites. I like to throw that in. It's very funny. It's got a great cast, so it's.
There you go.
If anybody wants to check out a different Christmas movie, that'll be it.
There's a couple of that. Fred Claus is good. Four Christmases are also.
Yes, that's good too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good. All right. So we're talking about Christmas. Let's talk quickly about some Christmas traditions.
Okay.
Because a lot of people celebrate Christmas on the 25th, Christmas Day. Christmas Eve, everybody's just like, nah, whatever. And Christmas Day is what majority of people, well, a lot of people I know, that's the only day to celebrate. Darrin, what's your Christmas tradition around the holidays?
But usually, Christmas tradition, especially our family, us being Italian, and Jake, you're probably aware of this, that usually the Christmas Eve is a big fish-induced meal.
That's correct.
There's all different types of fish dishes that get served up at Christmas Eve time, from shrimp to crab to calamari to salmon, everything. It's usually that, and no, it's great. I usually go over to my aunt's house in the States, and they do it up really well. They either deep fry the calamari or prepare the salmon or the shrimp in different ways. It's fantastic. I look forward to this meal all year round. You have no idea how excited I am about this. So yeah, but it's spending time with all cousins and the aunts, and see the little kids, all my cousins' kids all run around, get all excited, for Santa Claus and all that stuff. No, so it's stuff like that. It's just really spending time together. That's what I enjoy the most.
Ah, very nice, very nice.
Yeah. What about
sentimental there? Nice.
Yeah. What does the Winarski household do? What do you guys
we did a whole Polish thing on like you said, fish stuff on Christmas Eve. Yeah, we do that, and then we open up our presents on Christmas Eve.
Your Christmas Eve gift openers, huh?
That's on the Polish side. We do that.
Okay.
And then we have our Christmas Eve. We do have our dinner. We open up presents. That's the Polish side. Wake up in the morning. Kids open up their presents from us. So that's the second Christmas.
AKA Santa Claus, right?
Santa Claus, right?
That's right.
We have breakfast, and then we go to the Italian part of the family for dinner on Christmas Day, and they open up the presents for the third fucking time.
Oh my God!
So
I'm not
this is why I don't buy them anything.
I'm not saying, yeah, you don't have to. That's the good thing is your kids get spoiled pretty good.
Hell yeah, I invest in the podcast. I'm not investing in them. They get enough people investing in them.
There you go. Yeah. Well, maybe your kids will get you a brand new microphone for your podcast this year.
I could use if they're listening, which they shouldn't be. I could use a PC upgrade.
There you go, kids. There you go. There you go.
Well, yeah, that's good. There you go. Christmas traditions.
No, that's good because obviously, I think more people put in traditions for Christmas than, let's say, New Year's Eve, where New Year's Eve is kind of a throwaway because some people like to go out and get dressed up and do the whole thing, and some people just want to chill at home, play a board game, watch a movie, lounge around in their PJs and just fall asleep before midnight, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, not bad.
No, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
In case you're wondering what we're doing for the holidays, there you go.
Now you know.
Now you know.
Now you know. I take my sponsorship T-shirts in 2XL because I like to be comfortable.
There you go.
For season 3.
There you go. Season 3. It's gonna be coming in hot.
All right. So here's one of our segments that we always do. Let's do some music.
Yes.
And for the season finale of season 2, something special. If you've heard season 1, we've played this guy twice on our show already. He's also featured himself on one of my tracks. Lifted is the artist I'm talking about. We played a couple of his tracks in season 1, which they were great. If you heard songs like Change You and a couple other things we played, they're great. He's recently put out a brand new album, self-written, self-produced, self-distributed, all that cool stuff. It's called Still Dreamin'. That's his album name, and it's available on all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking, and for the season finale, I figured let's do something special and play one of my favorite tracks off the album, because my favorite track from Lifted is, besides the one he's been on my track for, which is called Who We Are, if anybody wants to check that out. Jakub featuring Lifted, Who We Are. That was a great track. That's one of the best verses on my entire EP from him. And Lifted has a song that's called Come This Far, and it's definitely one of my favorite tracks. It's number 1 on the track on the EP, and it's number 1 song that I like so far. And I'm still listening to the album, still enjoying it. It's available everywhere on Spotify, YouTube, everywhere else, and actually on all platforms, whatever. It's there. So here we're gonna play it for you today on episode 16, which is our season finale of the A to G podcast. So here is Lifted, Come This Far on the A to G podcast.
You already know I came too far to turn back around. What up? Yeah. That's Lifted, yeah, you know.
I didn't come this far to turn back around. When you got plans of blowing up, there ain't no backing down. That's why I can't leave, because I came to take what's mine one day, handing out drinks. Plan to be self-made, don't worry about if the rent's paid. Retire young, inspired from the MJs to the L-ways. I'm about it, trying to get all of my debts paid. Sick of trying to stretch another dollar till the next day. So I'm going out on no budget, gotta tough it when the going gets tough. Gotta rough it when the road gets rough. You gotta fake it till you make it. The sucker will embrace it. You'll only go as far as you willing to fucking take it. So I didn't come this far to turn back around. When you got plans of blowing up, there ain't no backing down. That's why I can't leave, because I came to take what's mine one day, handing out trade. Now I'm up next, don't it upset. Give it all though, I ain't giving up yet. I'm in grind mode, it's my time, bro. I ain't lying, yo, bet I got next. Cause I'm rising like the phoenix out the ashes with this, and transmute and let it go like an alchemist. No, better believe what I've been doing's gonna pay off any minute. If I said I'ma do it, if I do it, gotta live it, and it's factual. here to do what's natural. I came too far to turn back, so learned that when I earned that I deserve that. I didn't come this far to turn back around. When you got plans of blowing up, there ain't no backing down. That's why I can't leave, because I came to take what's mine when they ain't handing out drinks. It's been over 10 years with the pen now, about 5 years making beats. Mix master producer, write record, I do's it, yeah. That's why everything kosher like I'm Jewish. I didn't come this far, no. I didn't come this far, no. I didn't come this far, no. I didn't come this far. I didn't come this far, no. I didn't come this far, no. I didn't come this far, no. I didn't come this far, no.
All right, so that was Lifted. Come This Far. Check him out. Great artist, very positive, and just great music. So there you go. Follow Lifted.
Fantastic.
Yeah, now that we did some music, let's talk about some movies, because on Monday the newest trailer dropped for Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna call?
Well, shit. You know what? I watched this trailer.
Yeah.
And I loved it. One,
Really?
because it totally ignores the
Yeah.
last Ghostbusters movie, which was dog shit.
Uh-huh.
And
Mhm.
it starts fresh, kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Okay? What'd you think of it?
I liked it how where they weren't completely what the original the original Star Wars Ghostbusters trilogy left off, but years in the future. So a very 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 past sequel to this movie franchise, kind of like a rebirth. You know, obviously, them showing the Ecto one, in the barn, and taking it out for a cruise and seeing the old Ghostbusters jumpsuits in the closet. So a lot of nods to the original, but I like what they're doing. Bringing in a new, younger cast of Ghostbusters to
Yes.
really start a new wave, a new generation of Ghostbuster. Obviously, there's rumors that the living members of the original Ghostbusters cast will make little cameos here and there. Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Dan Aykroyd are planning to make little cameos somewhere in this movie. So that's going to be interesting. Obviously, and Paul Rudd being in it. So it's pretty cool. Paul Rudd is a great comedic actor, but also pretty good dramatic actor, which I saw from this trailer that it's not like that slapstick comedy ha 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 kind of Ghostbusters. It has like very serious. It has serious parts as well. So
Yeah,
it
no,
should be interesting.
you're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Mhm.
And the reason why I liked it, because it does give a little throwback to the originals, and they don't try to make it something like that stupid one that we're trying to forget, the remake, when it was just here's some shit, here's a name. No, this is they're actually building a storyline which they can further down the line into another it's part 2, part 3, whatever else. So no, I'm super excited. I'm actually going to give it right now 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Yep.
Make sure we are recording. Wow.
We are recording.
5 out of 5. That's the first time ever that Jake has ever given 5 out of 5. I like to think that no trailer is perfect. So I'm gonna give it a solid 3.5 out of 5.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. I think it's also a teaser trailer, so they really don't tell you much about the story in the trailer. So I'm gonna look forward to the next trailer that comes out, obviously sometime next year when it comes out. but yeah, I like which direction it's going in, and I would definitely go check it out once it's in theaters.
Well, and the only reason I'm giving it 5 out of 5 because it has the perfect segue from nostalgia
Mm-hmm.
to the current,
Mm-hmm.
where it touches on, even in this short trailer we got on the old, ties it in with the new, and shows that it's going to be a story that's buildable. I'm loving it. I can't wait to see what happens. It piqued a lot of interest in my head. Like, yes, I will be watching this opening weekend.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. It's also good, especially, you could show your kids like the original Ghostbusters, and then they would get excited for the new one if they were interested in seeing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Good.
for sure.
All right.
But yeah, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So speaking of movies, Darren.
Yes.
The nominees for 2020 Golden Globes just came out.
Right. Yes.
There's some interesting nominees here, because there's some movies we got to talk about that we've seen that are nominated. And I have the list in front of me, and we're not gonna bore you by every nominee for best score. No, who cares? But let's look at some of them. And I want your opinion. I want rapid fire reaction to who you think is going to win and why. Okay. So best motion picture drama.
Okay.
The Two Popes, 1917, The Irishman, Joker, and Marriage Story.
Oof.
Best motion picture drama.
You know what? If I were to narrow it down, because I haven't seen 1917 and I want to see it, because I think it's very interesting how they shot that movie. And Sam Mendes is a phenomenal director. Irishman was good. It wasn't great. But if I were a betting man, and if I looked at it, I would personally say Joker for best drama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very nice. Yeah, 1917 is the one that shot all in one sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that should be.
It's one shot the entire movie.
Yeah, that should be awesome. Okay. Yeah. Best motion picture musical comedy. Don't give a shit.
No, there's some good movies that are nominated.
There is. Like, I'm looking at Dolomite Is My Name by
Dolomite was a very funny movie.
I've not seen any of these yet. So
I would like, if you see old school Eddie Murphy, Dolomite is a great nod to the old school Eddie Murphy.
See, this is where our trailer reviews come in helpful, because I saw the trailer. I'm like, fuck no.
Well, that's what I thought too. Then I watched the movie, and then I'm like, this is hilarious.
Well, here's I want your second opinion here.
Mm-hmm.
Best performance by an actor in a motion picture drama.
Oof.
Adam Driver, Marriage Story. Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory. Christian Bale, Ford versus Ferrari. Jonathan Pryce, Two Popes. And Joaquin Phoenix, Joker.
Well, I've seen Joaquin Phoenix as Joker. I haven't seen Adam Driver's performance. I know it's on Netflix, and I have to try to watch it, because I know that's getting a lot of hype. The one that I think is going to be the odds-on favorite, especially for the Golden Globe, is Antonio Banderas. I haven't seen the movie, but I hear it's been getting a lot of hype, and he's he is the front runner, I would say, especially the Hollywood foreign press. If I were to bet, I would say Antonio Banderas number 1, and then Joaquin Phoenix number 2.
Damn, you heard it here. Okay, best performance by an actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. And Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Al Pacino, The Irishman. Joe Pesci, The Irishman. And Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen most of those. God, Al Pacino was good as Jimmy Hoffa, and Pesci was great as Buffalino. It's like, geez, that's gonna be a real tough one. And Brad Pitt, I loved him as as a stuntman in as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Jeez, that's really tough.
Right?
If I were to go 1-2, I would go Pacino 1, and then Brad Pitt 2. I think Pacino is just really good as Hoffa, even though Al Pacino only plays Al Pacino in every single role. if you match up their voices, Al Pacino sounds like the character he played in A Scent of a Woman and Any Given Sunday. They all sound the same.
That's very, very
6 inches in front of your face. What is a bad man?
Yeah, no, it's great. Now, all right. Looking through what else is actually interesting, because there's not a lot of that's interesting here. Don't care about half of this shit.
Frozen 2 is going to win Best Animated Movie.
Yeah, see, don't care. That's
Let it
not
go,
interesting.
Jake. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it
This
go.
guy. No, that's it. Nobody else cares about the other categories because we give their shit.
Well, what about
millions
director?
of dollars.
What about director? There, Jake?
I just passed that. I was just looking at that. One sec, I'll bring that up so I can coherently pass this on to our audience. I have this list right here.
I think especially, I think this is Tarantino's year.
Well, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. Which that looks like a good movie. I haven't seen it yet, but it looks like a good movie.
It actually showed at the Windsor International Film Fest.
Yes, it did.
Parasite. So that's great to see. But yeah, Tarantino, fantastic. Scorsese, living legend. Todd Phillips, I think, is very up and coming. What he did with Joker was phenomenal.
Yes.
But yeah, I think this is finally Tarantino's year to win a Golden Globe and potentially an Oscar.
Well, it's a tough year.
Yeah. Oh, this is the best. Where if you win a Best Director this year with those guys nominated, wow, you really earned it.
Good. Well, there you go. There's some Golden Globes talk right there, and let's see what you got for this day in history.
Yes, obviously, this day in history has a lot of things that happened. Back in the week of December 11th, this is when we're recording this, is back in 1987, Wall Street, the film directed by Oliver Stone and starring Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen, is released. So obviously, pretty big movie for its time, and then it spawned a remake later on with Shia LaBeouf taking on the lead role. Other things that happened back in 2000, the 66th Heisman Trophy Award went to Chris Winkie. Remember Chris Winkie?
No.
Quarterback, Florida State, played for Carolina, played for a whole bunch of teams, got bounced around like crazy. So there you go. I just liked his last name, Chris Winkie. That was always the best name. Back in 2009, Tiger Woods announces his indefinite leave from professional golf to focus on his marriage. We all know how that ended up.
Yeah.
Jeez. And back in 2011, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek suffered a minor heart attack in his home and is admitted to the hospital. And another game show note, I don't know if you've noticed this, Jake, or even care that happened, that Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune, he's in the hospital, is recovering. So they had Vanna White step in and be the host
that's cool.
of Wheel of Fortune. The first time she has done it in 29 years, and boy, you could tell.
Yeah, well, it's not just standing there touching a screen for the letters to flip.
You know what? And so I was thinking, well, who's gonna turn the letters or touch the letters?
The computerized do it themselves.
Well, pretty much that's what they did, but they had Minnie Mouse stand next to the puzzle board. Really? For some reason. Yeah. I think like this is stupid.
That's great.
So and on this day back in 2013, Pope Francis is named Time's Person of the Year, and Time magazine just announced today its Person of the Year. is the little angry Swedish girl about climate
Go to
change.
school.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
Oh, but you know what? Good for her. It's
Yeah,
good for
whatever. Gets to travel the world on other people's money. Whatever. Get out of here.
Hey,
Angry
but
children.
hey, well,
It's like Children of the Corn all over again, except this one's by the sea.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
We can't make fun of how she talks because she's got something wrong with her. But it's just go back to school.
Yeah. Well,
Stop being
but still,
you're a living meme. Go away.
Well, that's just yeah.
It's not the rant yet, but we're getting there.
No, but obviously Jake is not a fan. Wow. Go to school. Pretty soon there won't be any school because we'll all be dead from the earth, not being around.
I'm not gonna get into it. No, it's gonna be a different podcast.
Our episodes is already long as it is.
Exactly. All right.
And back in 2015, Playboy magazine published its last nude issue featuring Pamela Anderson on the cover. Well, who else would you have on the cover of Playboy these days, right? So there you go.
Yeah. What do you mean? You buy it for the articles.
Of course. That's why they're always in the men's bathroom, right?
That's right.
You gotta have something to read.
Darrin, we talked about something off the air that is a passion of mine, and Chick-fil-A's coming to town.
Chick-fil-A. I don't know their theme song, but
I don't know the theme song either, but I had Chick-fil-A when I was in Florida for the first time this year, and I was like, holy shit, we need this at home.
Now, to be honest, you as I know you're a lover of food.
I'm a sandwich connoisseur. Yes,
you're a sandwich connoisseur. Like, how good is it? Like, really, like compared to the other fast food places that do like chicken sandwiches?
Yeah, better than KFC.
I see. I really can't compare because I never had a KFC chicken sandwich. I refuse to eat anything at KFC, even though I know that it's pretty much the same kind of thing.
Yeah. It's gotta be the best chicken sandwich you've ever had. Better than Wendy's. Better than anywhere.
Now, a lot of controversy was stirred up when the city Windsor took it to the city council. I'm sorry, took it to a vote to allow a franchise to be opened up here in Windsor. I believe on Howard is where they're going to be opening it.
Yeah, right by the mall.
Right by the mall, which makes sense because right there, and then if you continue up further Howard, before Tecumseh, you hit everything. You got Popeyes and Tim Hortons and Wendy's and Arby's and pretty much it's the fast food corridor of Windsor, Essex. So yeah, obviously a lot of protesters and people who don't agree with Chick-fil-A's a stand on LGBTQ.
The alphabet people, yeah, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot of controversy,
yeah, it's a lot of controversy. So it's not just LGBTQT, whatever, and it's also
whatever.
Well, it's all of them. It's all those people
involved
the
alphabet
in that
people.
group.
Yeah, got
it. And their unethical treatment of chickens. And so there was I think a group of like 10 to 15 protesters holding signs outside of City Hall, and I was thinking to myself, okay, obviously you have your right to protest.
Yes.
Obviously you go for it, knock yourself out, but if it does get passed, don't go.
No.
And if you still feel that bad, I'm sure there's people that are doing worse things to animals or are discriminating against other people that you can find and go shed light on them. But in the end, it's a fucking restaurant.
Yes.
It's a fucking fast food place.
Yep.
So don't get all huffy and puffy that it's not gonna it's gonna affect the way how people consume animals for food. I understand you want to protect animals and chickens and cows and all that stuff. Well, let's face it. There's people that just grew up eating meat, and they're going to continue to eat meat, chicken, whatever, and they're just not going to change, and that's fine. Well, it's just how it is.
Yeah. Now, Darrin, I have a question for you. How do you ethically kill an animal and eat it? Okay, that's the dumbest shit ever. Okay, because exactly, ethically and killing doesn't go together.
No.
Whatever. Now, if you say don't eat any animals, that's cool, Mr. Vegan person. You're ripping out green, plants out of the ground. You're ripping them out. You're ripping the souls into pieces when you rip them out of the ground and eat them. So it's basically the same thing. That's my stance on that.
I'm sure radishes scream when you rip them out of the ground too.
Well, that's right. Well, if you cut them into pieces, they have feelings. Why don't you eat the top part, the green sprouty part?
I know, right? So, yeah.
You know what?
And if they're this upset with just one, restaurant opening up, obviously, I think what really gets them all fired up is their treatment of the LGBTQ community.
It's not the treatment. It's who they fund, and every businessman with millions of dollars all support their separate causes. Mm-hmm. And you don't see anybody protesting any other restaurant because of who they support. People go there and eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I guarantee you, once it's open, it's gonna be packed.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll fucking be there. Yes.
There you go. You know what? Jake would go. He would go buy something and go eat it right in front of a protester.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to be chilling on the curb. Be like, yo, chicken sandwich.
This chicken is fantastic.
Broadcasting live on the HG Podcast Instagram page.
Go. We should do a live stream.
Go.
You know what? Let's do that. When they open up, let's have a food review. We'll have a chicken sandwich review in front of Chic-fil-A.
Live, perfect. Let's do it.
It'd be good stuff. So these people obviously, it's their right to protest.
What are you calling these people?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, here comes the Don Sherry. It's like, can't believe you said these people.
Just Alan's gonna start tweeting at us.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Those people.
Those people. Yeah.
All right.
Well, those protesters. How about that?
Those protesters.
There you go. So, those protesters are idiots. They can do whatever they want, but people are still gonna go.
Good. There you go. Chick-fil-A. It's coming. We'll be there.
That's
all right. So now you heard some yelling from us. Here's some more. I have a rant. It's a short rant. Let's finish this episode off in a fun way. Yeah. I have a problem with social media, which we're on all the time.
Yeah.
And here's what I want to tell you. If you post something on social media, expect to get a response.
Right.
If you post something, somebody will comment on it. It's your responsibility when you post something. Don't act like, oh my God, why are you commenting on my shit? Mm-hmm. Okay, you posted it for people to see. Therefore, people will be commenting on it. So, for example, this happened over the weekend. Someone posted something. Funny enough, it was about football. And, I posted on it. Like, if you post something about their team and I'm like, oh yeah, but your team's crushing my team because my defense sucks. Ha ha ha! I really don't give a shit because my team blows, and whatever. And it came down to they'll make Trubisky look like a magician. Yeah, that's cool. And your quarterback sucks but looks good against our defense. And somebody got offended. I'm like, really? You get offended? They got offended enough where they deleted me as a friend off of Facebook about a fucking football post. So, bitch, listen. If you post something on social media. Yeah. And you don't want people to comment because your precious feelings get hurt.
Right.
Don't post it on social media. If you're that sensitive fucking snowflake crybaby where someone says something not even demeaning to you, just an opinion that you don't give a shit about and you don't care about people's opinion, well, you know what? Then you're a fucking magnet for pettiness. You post things for what reason? Just you post your opinion, but don't like other people's opinion? Well, that's so fucking weak. That's weak. Like that's the whole point of social media. And if you get offended, did you get out of your safe space? That's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop being a snowflake. It's social media. You have friends, quote unquote. Well, -1 now that you post things for. And they do that to everybody when they don't, but not necessarily not agree with you. Just talk about football. That's a bitch move. And you should just delete your account, go back to bed, cry for a couple of days, and reflect on what you're actually going to do with your life. Yay, Facebook.
There you go. There you go. One less person to annoy Jake, I guess.
No, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Bunch of nonsense. I'm not even arguing with people.
There you go.
Whatever. We have, you know what? Let's get to some socials because we put all of our episodes, re-up them up on Spotify. So if you guys love Spotify, which a lot of you do, we're all there. All of our season 1 and 2 now, including this finale, will be on Spotify.
Exactly. Like, best Christmas gift that you can give is to tell your friends and family about the ADG podcast. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
All year long.
All year long. So, speaking of giving gifts or receiving gifts, Jake, what was the best gift that you've ever received as a child or adult?
On Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a question we should have prepared ahead of time.
Spur of the moment, baby. Spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment.
That's it.
No, there's the best part that I've ever received on Christmas. The best thing is actually watching the kids, my kids, just opening up things that we get them, and it's usually nothing big on Christmas morning. It's just their reaction to just waking up and running to the tree to get stuff. That's the best gift that I could get because it's just giving them that joy and happiness on Christmas.
Look at that, Jake, the ultimate family man. So selfless.
Well, okay, fine. Turning back on you. What's your turn?
Well, there was a couple of things like growing up as a kid I remember getting, and it was awesome. I think I still have it actually. When I was like, I believe it was like 8 or 9, I got a Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. You remember the wrestling buddies?
Please tell me you have it still.
I still have it.
Hell yeah!
It's fantastic. The thing's a collector's items. that thing was legit. And awesome. it was very the best, but that one that really stuck out, to me, I think, because I was a big Hulk Hogan fan. So for that to happen, that was pretty special, But I'm in the same boat. I'm more of the giver, and then when I give a gift that I know that they will like or it will make them laugh or whatever, that's always a great part.
There you go.
So that's good
stuff right there. Yeah. Well, if you guys want to follow us, we're going to be gone for about a month, but we'll keep you updated as things happen. We will be doing some special things in between seasons.
We're going to go check out the chicken restaurant. We'll be at a few different games. Chic-fil-A.
Doing some stuff. Broadcasting live, posting stuff on Instagram, Facebook.
Making fun of protesters.
Making fun of a lot of people. Yes. Calling people bitches. This is what we do.
Hashtag Jake's bitch of the week.
That's a new segment coming up.
There you go. That's season 3. Stand by.
But we'll do a bunch of stuff.
I'll definitely get some complaints about that.
I don't care. Email us, adgpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Twitter's been insane. Check us out everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, everywhere, every podcatcher you can have, you will find us. Just search ADG Podcast. It is there. And we're working on some stuff like always, and we'll see you in a while.
Yes.
You know how it is.
Yep.
So for episode 16, season 2, season finale, I'm Jakub.
And I'm Darrin.
And this is fuck that up again. I don't know.
Keep it. Just keep it.
We're gonna keep it. And we are ADG.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.